Good morning, Facebook world. Happy Wednesday, although it feels like Tuesday, being that we had the day off. So, today we are going to talk about hiring and from a different perspective. I think from a perspective of, as always, I flip everything on its head because I don't really believe in modern thinking or societal thinking. So, kind of about who are we looking for, about hiring, how everybody can't hire. I don't know where to find someone. I can't get anyone. Nobody wants to work anymore. Um, really, I mean, we talk about perspective and reality all the time. So, how do we get you thinking differently so you can look at your company differently, look at yourself differently, look at your culture differently, so we can hire people that will become our why and help us to create a company that is solving our why. The how can be figured out later. We need to think about the why. Many of the people that I've coached over my existence really focus on the how. How are we going to get these people in here? Where are they going to come from? Once they get in here, what are they going to do? And we become really stuck in a thought process that really isn't serving us. So, if I can get you to think a little bit differently on today's call, we have a webinar at 3 o'clock East Coast time with Work Ease on tomorrow, September 5th, and I'm sure Caroline is going to put the QR code in there for you guys to register. So I know it's going to be a really exciting event with them. Any knowledge is good knowledge. Anything that we can learn day to day is going to help to enhance your way of thinking and raise some levels. Everybody has a capacity to bring something that they know to the table that you may not know today. So let's kind of get down to it. I would say out of all the jobs I've had, consulting or not consulting, I've really only been onboarding or onboarded properly 3 times. That's the way I look at it. I knew what kind of culture I was entering. I wasn't disillusioned by anyone who was interviewing me, over promising, under delivering, set up for success. It would be those really 3 jobs, and they were really important for me to have that that why for me, and they wanted to know what made me tick and how I was going to fit into the organization, but they were so clear on their organization and 100% knew what they wanted to accomplish target wise and how you were going to fit into it. And it wasn't about, kombucha on tap or lunch being served every day, purchased for you. It was about the culture of the company and how you were to fit into that culture. And I know as we transition through the decades, things have changed. So let's think about years ago, in a bad job market, people were, the hiring people had to do everything they could to find top talent. And then it switched where there were way too many people that were unemployed looking for jobs. So the hiring managers had their pick of the litter, so to speak. But that doesn't mean we're going to hire the right people because we really oftentimes don't even understand what our organizational chart looks like and how to look at the accountability chart and who needs to know what, because most times the owners don't need to know or don't know what even to do within their own company. They're so used to doing everything on their own and having complete control, they don't know who to go out and look for. So, really, is it that you guys have a hard time finding people out there, or do you not know what you're looking for because you haven't established a baseline of who's going to fit into your organization to become that cohesive group that you really need in order to keep the engine moving forward? One company I worked for years and years ago, and I'll say this is one of the catalysts that made them successful was the different brain sets and skill sets of the owners, right? One was complete finance, spreadsheets, could forecast up to 3 years out, knew the ins and outs, intricacies. When we looked at that P&L up on the board, and they were completely transparent with their numbers, he had everything. Just, you could challenge him all day long, and he knew everything that was going to happen with, I mean, the future predictability of the economy, but enough to know that the past to dictate the future and where we're going to go target wise. The other one was all sales and marketing. He was the visionary. He drove the bus, and I know a lot of other companies like that. So that yin and yang is what made that company successful, because they would interview every person that walked in the door, alongside the hiring manager, or possibly me, because I was pretty much had my finger on the culture. But what was so successful, made them successful, is they knew every person that they wanted, what role they were going to be sitting in, and what that was going to do for the company. So it was always about the why. It was about the bigger purpose. It wasn't about the how, are we going to get there, or where are we going to find them, because the messages that were out there were exactly about that why. And I find that when I read a lot of what's on in Indeed today, whether you're hiring for an outbounder or a CSR, office manager, a skilled technician, we don't really know who we are as a company. So how are we going to bring people in and attract top talent, right? And most times, people that are out there in the world are looking for exactly those keywords of what their skill sets match. So when I think about 7 traits, in which I'd written earlier, I think about, what are people feeling? Well, who would I want on my team, besides coachability, right? I would want somebody who's loyal. And we talk about, non-negotiables. I mean, loyalty. You don't need to be my family, but we need to be loyal, and we need to share in the cause of the target and the why behind why you want to work for me. What is my culture isn't about like, we're going to break bread every day and love each other until, I leave. It's going to be about the loyalty when you work for me, that we're not talking to other people at supply houses and being snatched for $2 more an hour. That loyalty goes to, you're going to look at me as someone that you want to coach, and you want to raise up, and you want to help along the way find their own why, whatever their destiny is for working for you. What does their career path look like? And if you don't have established career paths, forget the scorecards. I mean, yeah, you better have scorecards for each position in your company. But if you don't have an established path for me at your company, why would I come? Why would I be there? Why would I be loyal to your cause? I want to know how it's going to affect me. I will do everything I can once I get there. That's my loyalty. But what does that path look like? And that's why a lot of you aren't hiring, because you're not attracting talent, because all you're talking about is job descriptions and what they need to know. And now I don't have 2 of those skills, and I don't apply for your position. But you got to talk about, what does it look like in your company? How am I going to help you grow as a person? Right? How is this person, number 2, I'm going to say, problem solve? How are they able, and are you able to allow them to problem solve? Because your training and your onboarding is so good that we can get out of box thinkers and get people who, number 3, are autonomous. And are you going to allow them to be autonomous? Because I know a lot of companies that won't allow for that autonomy. Every pricing structure has to go through the owner or the sales manager, service manager, whoever's reviewing. No, nothing can go out, you guys. And then you wonder why we don't feel that we have the autonomy to make decisions in your company, because I could be doing a whole lot more for you and you're not allowing it. That micromanagement is holding me back. But you haven't laid foundation for me to understand what that would look like in your company, in your job ads, in your scorecards once we do get to the performance reviews. And you don't even know who I am as a person, and you don't know how I fit into your culture. I don't know your why. But now you want me to go out there and do a great job making sure that I am walking into every home with integrity and understanding what the perceived value is of your company. But I don't even know how I fit in here. So let's go down that target a little bit more. Am I ambitious? I mean, yeah, we need people to be ambitious. We can't be sitting on our ass not wanting to run calls. But what are you setting them up for? Are you just trying to put an ass in a seat? Because there is an ass for every seat. But what seats are you creating in your job roles? How are you positioning yourselves? How are you coming across as a company? And I'm telling you, most of you don't hire correctly because you don't even know who you are as a company. I just need somebody who's going to work hard and run calls for me at 10 o'clock at night. Well, really? Is that what you want? I mean, where the ambition, you're going to find people who want to work hard, but they're also the same people that are going to leave again for those $2 an hour. And coming from the restoration world, I know how much time your guys spent at the plumbing supply houses, talking to me, talking to my colleagues, eating breakfast that I cooked for them. And that's what a great time for other people to get poached. So what are you doing to make sure that I have a career path, I have a target, I know where I'm going with you and your company? And that languaging is going to make a difference in today's economy, in today's market. Because there's people out there that want to work for that why-driven company. But everything you see and you write is job description. What skill sets you have to have. Well, if I'm really good at what I do, which almost everyone in the trades are masters at their trade, it's the business side, it's this hiring side that they don't really understand, then I'm going to be able to teach you. I'm going to be able to teach you every single thing that I know. I'm going to be articulating the value of the skill sets that I bring to the table. It's everything else that you need to know. So, are they target driven? Because I want you guys all to be running your teams based on KPIs and targets. Another why, right? What are those targets going to help them to achieve in their lives? What kind of clarity is that going to give them? Because if I'm Tom and I want to come work for you and I'm in high school, I don't want to go to college because I know that that 4-year degree may mean nothing to me when I can learn on the job and make probably double the income that I would make after 4 years and paying my debt back. I want to go work in the trades. Convince me that you're the company that I want to go work for. But I haven't seen one ad, and I was on Indeed for like an hour last night. I didn't see one ad for a trades position that I would even think of having my child or myself or my friend or anyone I know go work for. Everything was based on skill set and job. You're almost keeping people away from your companies. Think about why I want to work for you. It's just like sell me this pen. What reality and what perception am I living in that I want to know what company I want to work for? I want to know, why did you come here today? Or why did you even call our company today? Like, what kind of company do you want to fit into? But you're going to get those people applying for that job because of the way that you position your ad. A really well-run ad talks about who you are as a company and why someone would want to join you, what I'm going to be able to do for you as an employer, how I'm going to raise your skill levels, how I'm going to fit you into our culture, what the day-to-day is going to feel like every day when I come to work. Because I don't want those Sunday night stomach aches, knowing that I got to go to work on Monday morning. Because nobody cares about me, nobody's training me, there is no onboarding, nobody actually is invested into my future. But I haven't seen any ads like that. That's not about selling a position, it's about creating a future for them. It's about painting a picture of what the day-to-day is going to be like. And don't bullshit people they'll see through it the day they walk in. Don't bullshit me when I come in and everybody's throwing me a first day lunch. Don't bullshit me, because that culture will fade just like a bad relationship. Know how you're going to engage me. Know my name. Be consistent with the scorecard reviews and performance reviews. Be consistent with my training. And I will give that back to you because I'm loyal. I will solve my own problems. I'm autonomous. I'm ambitious. I'm target driven. I'm responsible, because you better want somebody that's in there that's responsible. I'm confident, not just competent. I will become competent when I'm trained and I know my job role. Right now, I'm confident that I can handle whatever gets thrown at me. What are you looking for in the people? Because if for them to buy into your process and buy into you and your vision, they better know what their vision is. But I will tell you right now, most of you are failing miserably in how you are attracting talent. I mean, on the registry, on the webinar that you guys hopefully will register for and learn some ways in order to get people into your world. I'm going to go a little bit deeper into that, not today, because you are doing it wrong. And I'm not saying that coming from a coaching world or CEO warrior. I'm coming as an individual, and also college age kids that are getting out, finding jobs, and how they're positioning themselves in the marketplace, and how you guys are positioning yourselves. And we wonder why people aren't being attracted to the trades. And most of it is because, number one, you don't want to let go of what you built. You have a control issue. And number two, it's because you don't want people to be autonomous in their role. You want to oversee everything with that control. Number three, you really aren't invested in them. And there's companies out there crushing this. I'm just speaking to the ones who are constantly calling in and saying they have a hiring problem. No, you have a you problem. You have a management problem. You have a vision problem. Because if you knew exactly what your company, where you are right now, and where you want to be, then all we need to do is figure out the why of someone want to come work for us and how we can get you in the door, and we'll figure out the how we can get you in the door later. How to attract top talent. But I really believe that if we can think about on an accountability spectrum and your strengths as an owner, and what are you willing to be able to delegate to someone else, and why you would delegate, what is it going to do for you, for your future, for your career? Because I want top talent working with me. It's going to free me up to do the greater, bigger, larger, more important things in my company. But you will stay stagnant if we don't hire the right people in your organization. And that one skill set is not going to be what's going to get you guys to the next level. Well, I don't understand. I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm under $1 million still. Well, when you have time, you're not hiring the right people. You don't even know what people to hire. You don't know the why of your company. You don't even know what your culture looks like. You make it more difficult for yourselves. So how can we ease this up a little bit? Because if we don't solve this problem before we go out there with these job ads and try to go out and find people, attract talent, we are not ever going to pull the right people into our orbit. It's just not going to happen. And for those of you bosses that think that you're just going to shove people out there in a job and they should know what they're doing, that's not the reality either, because they're not going to stay with you. And if you don't know my name when I walk in the morning and I work for you, and we haven't had a meeting, and you don't say good morning, and we haven't had a chance encounter, and you don't know anything about me, I'm not staying. I don't care how much you pay me. I don't care anything that goes into my day. I don't care anything about the 401k. I don't care about any of my job perks. Culture is everything. Kevin's on right now, and I will tell you, as a recruiter, he will say number one reason people leave is because of bad managers, bad bosses, and just not feeling significant and important in their job role. We figure stuff out. We do our jobs. But to me, it's not just about working for someone. It's about being involved in the future of an organization. It's about being involved in the next step. It's about being involved in the why of the company. And that all comes down to culture. So if you are not understanding the people that you want to pull into your world, you don't know the characteristics. I just gave you 7 things. There's probably 50 that I would want. And we're going to talk about asking behavioral questions. We're going to talk about buying into the process on the on the webinar. I keep saying registration. That's because subliminally I want you guys to register for the webinar. But I 100%, when we work with anyone here, it's all about the culture of your company. And shit rolls downhill. So if I don't know as an owner what that's going to look like, then you are not going to know what it looks like as coming into my world as my employee. And that means that every person I come in contact in the CSR, the dispatch, your comfort advisor, your service experts, your outbounding, anyone that comes in contact with your clients, they're not going to be able to pass the vision off either. And it will show in their culture. You want to form a really great team. Make sure you're super, super clear on that why and who you want in your world and what they're going to do for you and what is that going to release for you so that you can focus on other things. Again, if you need help with it, book a strategy call. Let's work on it. But I'm telling you right now what I hear every day. You guys are stuck in your own state of mind. You can't hire anyone. No, you don't know who to hire. You don't know why they want to work for you. That resistance is going to keep you stuck hiring very, very expensive people that will leave you in a matter of months. Take a look at your turnover. Look at that ratio. What is that number? And then multiply it by the salary they were earning yearly. Where's there's missed opportunities? I don't know. Just saying. I might listen to something that we have to say over here. All right, everybody, enjoy their Wednesday. Happy day. If anybody needs help running, send a hiring ad in the DM. See what you're doing now. Let us offer some suggestions. All right, guys, don't forget to register for the webinar tomorrow with Work Ease, 3 p.m. East Coast time. Caroline put it in the comments. I hope everybody has an unbelievable day. Thank you so much.